The man them are ShxtsnGigs, James, Duncan and Fuhad are getting dragged online. If you haven't realised over a couple of days, something's been cooking on Black Twitter, and the main topic of discussion are the dynamic podcasting duos from United Kingdom, James and Fuhad from the ShxtsnGigs. And for those who don't know who they are a podcasting duo who have recently shot up into stardom over the past 12 to 24 months, whether it's their viral segments going off on TikTok or Instagram or Twitter, or their banter and chemistry between them and their guests, like various people like Chunks and Young Philly and other relevant people in this space. They have been making moves. They have been going on tour, live tours at the O2 Arena. They have recently just wrapped up their tour of the United States of America, doing live shows, going on other people's podcasts all over the United States, and it's been very successful until they landed on a couple of podcasts. And in particular, the one that first kicked it all off was Poor Minds podcast, where they were in Atlanta and they were talking to two lovely women, and they said they didn't see any baddies in Atlanta, Georgia.
I've seen the least baddies so far.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank God we ain't from here.
I'm a Texas girl. You ain't offending me none.
You see, they ain't say Houston.
We've still got a couple days. Maybe we'll find out. But yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen like 2 or 3.
Hey, but what is y'all's type though?
Bad is the type.
But facts.
So what makes a girl bad?
It varies though.
It matters how you own it. There can be a skinny girl who wears the fuck out of being a skinny girl. And then you've got a thick thing who just owns the shit out of being a thick thing. It's bad is bad is bad.
That's a PR answer.
A PR answer.
They're all beautiful. If you have, man,
I'm not saying everyone's beautiful. I just told you Atlanta's clapped. I never said everyone's beautiful. I just said I'm not seeing any baddies here.
You know what's funny about Atlanta though? Atlanta has a lot of transplants. So a lot of the people that live here, like you rarely run into people when you're out and stuff that are from Atlanta. Like the real Atlanta people, they be in the trenches, like off of Cascade.
we about to get jumped next time we go out.
Off of Cleveland Ave, that's what they be.
Get
What?
jumped. We live here, man.
I don't go to Cleveland Ave. I'm not getting jumped.
And to a lot of American women, a lot of American black women specifically, they were like, what? You saw no baddies in Atlanta? That's where all the baddies are. And you're saying there are no girls that are 10'10"? Maybe that's not the aesthetic of black women plastic surgery, but a lot of black women were like, nah, this is fishy. Let's dig into it. When I tell you they landed on a landmine, they landed on the biggest nuclear bomb ever. And it was a clip, or various clips, because I listened to the whole podcast, and it's not looking good, bruv. It's not looking good for ShxtsnGigs. A lot of women found out the clip on Flagrant 2, or Flagrant now. And for those who don't know, Flagrant is a podcast hosted by Andrew Schultz and his friends. Andrew Schultz is a very controversial and edgy comedian. I was a massive fan of him during the COVID period, where he talked about, conspiracy theories, dissemination of information, the policing of what's right or what's facts and what's not facts. China, conspiracies, COVID, US politics, and all that whole craziness during that time. And he was focusing on his political jokes, and that's what made me tune into his stuff. But then over, a couple of years after that, it kind of tailed off, and it was just more like Andrew Schultz getting off things that he thought was personally funny, that, was poking fun at stereotypes. And there's the structure of a joke, there's the premise, there's the subversion or misdirect, and then there's the punchline, ha 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 ha. But when it's religiously on racial stereotypes that aren't, in my opinion, are true, it just becomes tasteless and slapstick and just played out. Like, how many times are you going to talk about the cotton picking joke, or how many times are you going to be talking about the black angry black male or angry black female trope, or Indian mud slinger or snake charmer joke, or Irish potato eating joke, or Jewish, greedy joke. Like, it's played out. And a lot of people might not be into that type of humor. So when ShxtsnGigs go on this podcast, they're exposing their audience to that level of humor that a lot of people finds distasteful, and especially if you're being the one targeted, you are not gonna like. So let's see what went down.
Bro, you guys don't know about the black girlfriend effect. She just...
Wait, what is the black girlfriend effect? This is
you don't know about
just glow up the other culture.
Yeah, so you'll see a guy who's had a black girlfriend, all of a sudden he's got buzz cut, like clean shape up, glows up, bro.
I like that.
I like that.
They shave their hair because they start losing it. Because they're so stressed being around this black girl complaining about shit all the fucking time. That's why they gotta shave their hair.
Nah, bro. White guys with black girlfriends, they
grow a beard because there's
up.
more cushion when they get slapped the fuck out of them.
That's hilarious.
I think the black girlfriend effect. It might be a protective instinct, bro.
You think?
Protective.
Yeah. Do you guys? Have you ever had black girlfriends?
Yeah.
Have you ever had white girls?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. What's your favorite?
We love them all.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Damn. After watching that clip back to back and then watching this about We Love Them All, I could understand why some people feel some type of way, some black females feel some type of way, be like, that's a PR answer. We all know what PR answer is. It's like, oh no, I haven't got any favorites, we love everyone type shit, right? That could be true though. You could have no preference. You could be like, whoever's, attracted to me and I'm attracted to, we can kick it. But off the back of what he was saying about black women, it's just not looking good. Them kiki and ha-haing, like, it's giving, I want to be liked. It's given, I want to be accepted, which is cool and all, but when people are disparaging your own race, you have to at least call that out. You could be still cool with them, like, yeah, we're good, personally, but, I don't rate that joke. Don't make fun of, our people like that in front of my face. No, just period. Like, we don't play around that, and they didn't. And that's what a lot of people are mad at. That's what everyone's mad at.
We love them all.
Yeah.
That means white.
Yo, who gets
that means white.
Hey, let me get the US translation.
Kendrick fans, get him!
We love them all.
And the way Andrew said Kendrick fans get him, that's him saying, pro black people get them, or black people get them, because he knew, I got you. African Americans, they're gonna get you. They're gonna eat you up for this, because you're not gonna get away with that over here. You might get that away with that over there because you're not gonna get challenged, and people aren't going to hold you to a certain standard. But when you're next to a known person who makes edgy jokes like this, and you're not prepared to give it back with witty banter or say I'm not fucking with that, and you look like a lamppost, like a knob, people are gonna be mad. And disappointment, to say the least. A lot of women are disappointed. A lot of black women are disappointed. Like, I could just go through all the lists and tweets, but there's just so much. It's best that you type in ShxtsnGigs into Twitter and just see how these women feel. They are disappointed. They are disheartened. They were rooting for them. They were protecting them. They were like, these are the only guys, these are the only podcast bros that we rate because they don't attack women and it's a safe space for us, but not anymore. For example, they were making points like, Andrew Schultz, he's known for this, he's not getting any backlash for sure, so cancel him. But like he said in his recent video, he's protected by the tag of being a comedian. Let's be honest, he wears that badge the fuck out, because he said, we're not apologizing. We're the last people to even request apology for it, because if I apologize for this joke, I'm going to have to apologize for every single joke I've ever made, and that's just not going to happen. And he's got the right to do that. He's a comedian that's made money off that, and it's worked for him. His audience don't care because that's why they tune in, but this is a massive misstep for ShxtsnGigs. Like, you effed up so bad by allowing your brand to be associated with potentially or perceived hate like this. Now everyone's questioning your morals, everyone's questioning your character. If you self-hate, if you have these thoughts about black women, if you denigrate black women in your own private lives, if you make fun of black women's traumas and their stereotypes that they've been fighting against, like, it's just sad. It's just sad because we were rooting for you. And I like them. I feel that they will recover, but the apology they gave was so shit. It was actually one of the worst apologies. I was expecting, apologize, take ownership, take accountability, say the things that you did were wrong and your inaction was disgusting and it was a disappointment, but you kind of like skated around it. You didn't really go into details. You just wanted to get it over with, and that's what came across. Let's have a look.
Before we get into today's episode, quick PSA, quick acknowledgement. So, if you know, you know. If you don't, that's fine. But we just wanted to address something that's happening at the minute. This past weekend, there's been a couple of clips going around from when we did a session on the Flagrant podcast while we were on our US tour. And there were a few jokes made that were incredibly inappropriate. One specifically pertaining to black women. And in the clip, Andrew was making a joke. I'm not even going to get into specifics. Making a frankly racist joke. And we were laughing at it. And to give there's first of all, before we get into like specifics or anything like that, obviously there's just literally no excuse. There is no excuse.
Agreed.
And fight or flight is a real thing. Like, it is, fight or flight is a real thing, and it's
Excuses.
so not easy to say, but when you're in those situations, you look at it through a lens of like, bro, if it was me, I promise you I'll stand up, I'll kick them cameras down, I would smack homeboy in the face, I would say this, I'll do that. But when you're in there, you're in shock.
You're in shock, and all you want to do is move on.
Move on is the fucking word, bro. All you want to do is fucking move on. Just move on to the next thing. Just move on to the next thing.
There's
and like we had to say a few times, bro, just move on. Just move on.
So many different topics. We were like, move on. And it's not even like about pity laughs or anything, but we just wanted to
get out of that situation.
Literally get out of that situation, keep the ball rolling, and we thought it was going to be more of like a bros chat. But it ended up being something that's
something that's like really, really hurt people that look to us for support.
Say who you hurt. Say we apologize to black women. Say what we didn't do was unacceptable. We should have never put you in that situation because you liked us, you had to listen to that. Because you rate us, you had to get violated. You had to get taken the piss out of. And they fucked up. And let's be honest, they were gassed to be there. They were gassed. They were like, yeah, we're going on our US tour. Let's hit every single big podcast in the US. Let's go on Flagrant. Let's go on Joe Rogan if we can. Let's go on this. Let's go on that. But at the end of the day, you need to know where your bread's buttered, and you need to know your core audience. It seems like they believe that the only reason, or one of the core reasons, is that, they feel like they're funny and they can hang with comedians and they're somewhat of a comedy act. No, you're not. You're not comedians. You're guys that are funny. You guys have a good reaction. You have chemistry and you're easy on the eyes. The ladies love you, especially James. But when you actually go on a comedian's platform, and not just any comedian, a comedian that's edgy, that is witty and you know, everything is an opportunity to make a joke at someone's expense, and that's his shtick. And he just literally, I watched that 2 whole hour episodes, and there were some jokes, a lot of jokes actually, that were just very, very crass, and you can tell they were awkward and they just wanted to get out there, but they committed to it. And even Andrew said, yo, there was stuff that you didn't want us to put on, and you had the chance to cut it out, and we did, but you didn't cut out that joke or these jokes, so you were fine with it. So he thrown you under the bus, and Andrew's bad mind, let's not get it twisted, he knew what he was doing. He's got a spiteful spirit, and people have been noticing that about his podcast when, you know, guests come on, when anyone's on, really. They've really noticed that Andrew has taken a nasty turn in his approach. It doesn't come from a ha-ha, kiki, let's, you know, subvert, you know, expectations, or, you know, twist a stereotype in his hands and make people think about X, Y, and Z, why people think these stereotypes are true or not true. It just comes off as a bitter person, as a angry person, as a sad person. Like, there's been accusations against him personally that I'm not going to go into, but let's just say he's not got the cleanest track record when it comes to women. Let's just say that. Anyways, let me know what you think about this in the comments below. I'm your Tribal Chief Majaro, aka Midge, and you already know what I'm going to say. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.
I be kidding on my foes, even though I got it all on my own. Success sweet, yeah, it tastes like honeycomb. Dropping blood, tears, and even breaking bones. I'm sipping on Patron while aiming for the throne. I've been to hell and back and even call it